let's go over troubleshooting rockhounding machines, because this is something quite a few people struggle with, and sometimes rockhounding machines just refuse to work, and it's unclear why. Thing number one you should do: look at the recipes. This has different inputs. See to it that the inputs are actually connected correctly. Like, you have a fluid cistern on the left, on the right, and a reinforced cistern on the left. And if I look at here, and in the recipe, you have this on the left and this on the right. And this corresponds to the placement of these two cisterns. So the cistern on the right needs to be filled with water, and the cistern on the left needs to be filled with coal slurry. Very important. Also, this is bad design. You shouldn't do that. Let me fix this quickly, because why is this bad? If the coal sludge ever goes empty, the coal slurry, water will get in here and cause the machine to stop working. So, if that isn't it, second thing, is it switched on? If it's switched on, does it have power? Because it doesn't tell you if it has power or not. So you need to look at here. Remember, if you're using RF power to power your machines, some of them need induction heating interfaces, like this one. If you power your base with flue gas, syngas, or lava, this does not apply. But look at the power. If the machine gets enough power. Okay, the machine still isn't working. What else to look at? Well, there's outputs. This machine, for example, doesn't work. It keeps its temperature, but it doesn't work because the output is completely full. And if the machine cannot output, it doesn't work anymore. Okay, but let's assume that the output is actually empty. It could output things. Well, one more thing to look at. If the machine has a material cabinet, you need to look if it's full or not. For example, if you click on the lower half of the material cabinet, you have the compound inventory. These can take up to 6,400 ppcs of compounds, which translates to 64 items. And if this is full, the machine cannot work anymore because it cannot output the compounds. To output the compounds, you need graduated cylinder, and as you can see with this one, this is nearly broken. But you can supply them just via a chest and an item hopper. You need a lap balance that is, as you can see here, connected to the green output of the lower part. And you need to connect the lap balance via a hopper, or let's just change this out quickly because I want to get rid of most of my hoppers because of lag. A wooden hopper or any item extraction, and it will output the compounds into an adjacent inventory. And as you can see here, this is empty. So then it would work. And that's basically it. Oh yeah, of course you need to check things like with this mineral sizer, you need to also check if all the needed pieces are available. Because if it doesn't have any of those, yeah, it can't work. And for machines like this reforming tower, you need to look if it has the required catalysts, because without the catalysts, it also will not work. For machines like this chemical electric reactor, the same rule applies. You have these input tanks, which in this case, the CSTR has recipes that are hard programmed into it. And if you select a recipe, like here's chloromethane, these tanks will get filtered usually automatically. If they don't, the same thing applies. Let's look at the recipe. Primary and secondary hydrochloric acid and methanol. The left one and the right one. So in the left one, hydrochloric acid. In the right one, methanol. Easy as that. And it's very easy to actually have them the wrong way round. This is very important with lab ovens, because they have two inputs. Let's just quickly go up here. These machines, where is the interface? There it is. So the lab oven, it has two inputs and two outputs, but quite a few recipes only take one input. And it's not always this the most right one. If I'm looking at it from the front, it's not always the most left one to input. Some recipes just want one input, but in the right one. So you need to take a look at the recipe and put the right fluid in the right tank. So water. I was actually wrong. So water. Here, to make cold slurry, it goes into the first slot, but to make, for example, sodium cyanide, water goes into the second one. So you need to change these accordingly. And that usually is all you need to do to troubleshoot rockhounding machines.